gentlemen, and welcome to another Distribution Thursday Night Hangout.
Thursday night!
Ladies and gentlemen, I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific cover himself, Zealeus.
It's good to see you alive and well, good sir, because you never know from week to week what may happen or may not happen. You may forget to breathe one day.
This is true. That's very true. Actually, I played a basketball game last night, and because of the crazy-ass humidity in Atlanta, the basketball floor was sort of sweaty. Oh. And, like, you couldn't, no matter how much you dried it, there were still portions of the court that felt like you were in an ice rink. So that was fun.
The great humidity is what we love about living down here.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Thursday Night Hangout. This is a live show where we try our best to cover the topics most important to you during the show. If at any part during the show you have any comments or questions or topics, or you just want to voice your opinion, drop it in the chat wherever you may be right now, watching us live, and we will try to add it to the show. If we do, unfortunately, run out of time, we will add it to the very next show. So, I have, of course, my nifty list of topics, which, yes, I know it looks like a blank card. It's because the topics are facing me and away from the camera. Ha ha. See, look.
Very professional to me.
Look at that. Aha, aha. Okay, so let us start it off with something that potentially could make a sad story worse. And that is, there's news that is now coming out about the DC Studios movie division. As they're trying to, reorganize and make basically the DC equivalent of what Marvel has been doing, there are two projects that are at least two projects, but two big name projects that are currently in flux. One, which apparently might have already been canceled, is Wonder Woman 3. Now, sad day, because I think that, Gal Gadot, amazingly attractive, very good Wonder Woman. So that sucks. But the other thing is, and this is where I say making a sad story worse, ladies and gentlemen, it is now reported that the Superman feature that was supposed to be Henry Cavill's return is now in doubt.
So what you're saying is the potential rumored reason, or one of them, I should say, for him leaving The Witcher may not actually come to fruition.
Exactly.
The overwhelming irony.
That sucks. That sucks. And also, I mean, that's really just the I guess, how reality works.
It's the way the box falls.
Yes, it is. Violently and to the side, Zealeus.
But, I mean, it's kind of funny, though, because if you think about it, the MCU right now ain't doing too hot either. I mean, basically, it's been pretty well panned for this current, I don't even know what phase we're on anymore, honestly, with MCU.
We're at 4 or 5, right?
I think 4, because supposedly 5 or 6 are going to get back to being more serious, I guess. I don't know.
I'm going to try to Google this here.
I was like, I have not watched the new MCU phase basically since Endgame because I don't have Disney Plus and I've been in the theaters. But even the stuff that was on DC just was never quite the same level of, we'll just call them phases 1 through 3 of the MCU. And I feel like these franchises have been trying to chase the high that was MCU for quite a while. But also where it started, though, was, of course, Iron Man is really where it started.
Yep.
It's not like they didn't go into Iron Man being like, you know what, we're going to have the MCU. It was after the second or third movie, it was like, oh, we have something percolating here. And even when you got Thor and the other stuff, they worked on their own. And I think that's what was key. It wasn't like they didn't try shoehorning every single one of the movies into the overall MCU. They fit in, obviously, but The Thor movies on their own stood. The Ant-Man movies on their own, they stood. I think that's what's important is on their own, the movies were good. That was the first key.
Right.
And they all led up eventually to the Avengers. And even then, think about it, they had like the first Avengers, which now is like, it looks like it was a minor footnote compared to Endgame.
Yeah.
And in the age of instant gratification, and you have to make the $500 million blockbuster success today, it's hard to do that, given the limits of what Hollywood's going to let you do. That's why, like, you see stories still about Lord of the Rings and how it's such a unique undertaking, where given the success it was not The Hobbit. It was not just crap. That was basically like, oh, we'll make something because we can. It was
Are you saying The Hobbit's crap?
The movie, the trilogy is crap.
Okay,
yes.
There we go. Okay. There is a very phenomenally well done animated Hobbit movie back in like the 80s. Can't complain about that one.
Yes. So yeah, and what was it? They tried doing it with the Mummy series, which is supposed to be part of the Monsters verse or something with Tom Cruise. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I just like Tom Cruise trying to do the Mummy. I was just like, nah, dude, that will forever be Brendan Fraser. I don't care what you try. I don't care if you try to reboot it or not. And apparently, it was absolute crap. So guess what? Booyah! I saved money, and I've got all 3 of the Mummy Brendan Fraser editions. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, interesting days in DC Studios. But, whatever. I mean, we'll I guess, we'll see. Now, speaking of, things happening or I guess like upheaval, whatever, there's a certain company out there that we talk about on the regular when it comes to them basically sending cease and desist letters out to anyone and everyone who wants to try to give individuals more content from their beloved, like their fandom. And what I'm talking about is Nintendo. And Nintendo is yet again decided to go after. This time, I gotta double check the actual name of the document team. The YouTube channel Did You Know Gaming was interested in trying to find out information about a failed 2004 tactics game based in the Zelda universe called Heroes of Hyrule. And so they got a takedown notice. Basically, what Did You Know Gaming said about this is a journalistic video documenting a game that Retro Studios pitched to Nintendo nearly 20 years ago. This is an attempt by a large corporation to silence whatever journalism they don't like and a slap in the face for video game history preservation. Once again, I think, okay, so here's the thing. Nintendo, fucking stop, please. Jesus Christ. But also, remember, Nintendo does not want anyone to make a single penny. I'm not talking dimes. I'm not talking nickels. I'm talking about the 1 cent coin. They don't want anyone to make a penny off of literally any of their IP. So my guess is that
though that should be allowed. I mean,
right, absolutely
different.
However, it is their IP, and the thing is, Did You Know Gaming, if they really wanted to fight against this, Nintendo's pockets are probably like, I don't know, 10 million times deeper than Did You Know Gaming. But here's the thing. My educated guess is because Did You Know Gaming has ads during their videos, Nintendo goes, aha, you're talking about our shit and you're making money off it. No.
But there's a ton of documentaries that do the same thing. I mean, you see similar stuff like with, for instance, CinemaSins and
yes, but
the other one.
Is that Nintendo? That's the thing.
Saying, usually stuff like that is actually fair use. I mean, you're not showing like the entire video game. You're actually doing journalistic work at that point, which is a whole different level of actually covered speech. That's what's interesting to me about it. But to your point, though, the problem is they still have to fight it in court somewhere.
Exactly.
Even if they're in the right, which in this case I would think they are, you still have to be like, have the monies to actually be able to fight it.
I'm trying to see if there's I also, okay, so the other thing is that I wonder about is because it was an unreleased project, having been in the industry before, I know that I am legally not allowed to list any of the projects that I worked on that didn't actually get published. So I'm wondering if this is a case of like a violation of contract where a developer who pitched an idea to Nintendo and Nintendo turned it down. Like, I don't, I'm sure there's like a whole bunch of other shit that could go on, but I wonder if that might be the case as well. Since it does,
but they're under no contractual obligation to withhold that information. As the basically newscaster in this case, like they have no obligation. The developer might, sure, but if they're just reporting on what they heard, they don't have to withhold that because they didn't sign anything stating thereof.
Well, okay, so let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say that the NSA, there's a disgruntled NSA employee who has a bunch of blueprints for Cold War nuclear projects, and they decide, well, it's been 20 years. It'd be cool to actually talk about some of these ideas that got scrapped, and so they give it to a journalist. And so the journalist is now revealing a bunch of stuff that at some point could still be in production somewhere. I don't know. That's the problem, is that it could. I
think you equated nuclear weapons with Nintendo. Two very different. You're talking state secrets, which actually there are laws around that.
Right.
There are not laws around company secrets pertaining to video game production.
In Nintendo's world, there probably is, or in their mind at least. They live in their own reality. So,
again, it comes down to even if you're in the right, how do you fight those type of situations?
Exactly. And from my understanding, from the people who did see, that did see this video, they're like, look, it was very well done. It was, thought out and was professional. But then again, as we've seen in the past, Nintendo didn't give a shit.
That's why I'd rather see, like, as much crazy, like, if you're a rich billionaire like Elon Musk, as much crap he's going to give him over, like, Twitter, like, this is the kind of stuff where I'd love to see him or, like, a Bill Gates or Bezos be like, screw it. We're going to back your free, he's all about free speech on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Put his money where his mouth is and back them for promoting free speech. Like, this is a perfect example of a documentary to be able to really back kind of the little man who does not have those resources to do themselves.
Yeah. Whatever. So, yay, Nintendo. In a sarcastic.
Doing it again.
Doing it yet again. Now, speaking of government bodies, let's talk about that wonderful thing called the Federal Trade Committee, the FTC.
Commission?
Or commission. Committee, commission. whatever.
It's a commission.
It's a committee. It's a commissioned committee. Damn it.
It's a commission of commissioners who do a committee to make decisions on behalf of us, even though we did not elect them.
Yes, and some of them are still on telecom boards and getting paid for them to keep stuff, the way it is. Anyways, I digress. Anyway, so FTC is the U.S. Federal Trade Commission has launched a lawsuit to block Microsoft's merger with Activision Blizzard. Let's see here. It believes that this will enable Microsoft to suppress competitors to its Xbox consoles and its subscription content and cloud gaming businesses. Okay, the way that is phrased, though, is really weird. How are you blocking competitors going to your console? Because that's how I read it. Let me read this. Let me read this again. It believes it would enable Microsoft to suppress competitors to its Xbox consoles and its subscription content and cloud gaming business.
Can't it technically already do that?
Yeah, because they're the platform holders.
I think the argument is, which has some validity, is that basically if they own more of the larger publishers, now they have less incentive to basically work or play nicely with other publishers. When it comes to this whole merger, I'm honestly pretty ambivalent. Mainly because I feel like from a monopolistic perspective, there's still opportunity for new indie developers to kind of come out of nowhere and still make games. Like there's still a platform. Right. And it really is in Nintendo's best interest to allow the indie games on their device. And it's not like, the days of the console-based, NES or PlayStation where like you almost really had to kind of beg and plead with, the console owners to do it. But now, because you're really competing, like obviously with the PC and other consoles, anybody can almost it's almost a problem with how much crap there are on the consoles now. It's kind of gone the other pendulum. So that's where this one, I'm kind of like when it comes to the idea of art of monopoly, I'm kind of like, this isn't something that really gets my irons raised. As far as the Microsoft merger goes, I feel like there have been much more harmful mergers that should have been blocked than this one ultimately. So if this is what they're choosing to pick their battle over, that's where I'm really skeptical.
So Microsoft, of course, has already responded. They say, we continue to believe that this deal will expand competition and create more opportunities for gamers and game developers. We have been committed since day one to addressing competition concerns including by offering earlier this week proposed concessions to the FTC. While we believe in giving peace a chance, we have complete confidence in our case and welcome the opportunity to present our case in court. So maybe FTC is, I think, to be totally honest with you, at the end of the day, I think this thing goes through. I don't think that there's any force on God's green earth that's going to be able to stop this runaway train.
Well, let's say because they've also Microsoft has also sent some legalese things to some of the other consoles, basically trying to commit to hey, we'll legally contract ourselves to continue doing stuff. And Gabe Newell of Steam actually declined to sign it because he's like, you know what? Microsoft's actually been a good steward. And working with them has actually worked well, so we should no reason to actually sign it. So I love it if Gabe's okay with it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's, you figure of someone who could have really dicked over the gaming industry and kind of chose not to and just let it run its course. And so I mean, it's kind of, if you have Microsoft, Activision, and Blizzard all under one umbrella, it is kind of nuts the amount of games that will be under that.
True.
Now, what I do wonder, though, because you do see sometimes with these larger mergers, is inevitably it feels like they also end up shutting down some of the games because there is so much cruft.
Yep.
So will all the games from all of the EA, Activision, and Microsoft, for that matter, also stay alive?
Yeah. And to that, I don't know, but I mean, I
agree. I think I'll be passed also. With probably some shoestring amendments of like, you can't do this, which actually has no enforcement, and they all end up doing anyways.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
So, whatever.
Yeah.
I like you, I think it'll happen. I mean, just look at the history of other mergers in this part of town, and they just kind of end up happening, and we just shrug our shoulders because there's not a whole lot we can do about it anyways.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they're going to do what they want to do. I jokingly said earlier, I guess Microsoft just didn't pay the FTC enough for them because it is my humble opinion that telecommunication companies have been basically payrolling the FTC to allow them to keep some of their archaic rules, which allow for us, the consumers, to get it up the kahoozy, which is the butthole, for those who don't know, every single month with the ISP ransoming that has occurred. ISP, by the way, is Internet Service Provider.
So the real problem is none of the video game execs are on the FTC committee.
Or they don't have any FTC committee members on their board of directors.
Ooh.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
You want to talk about a corrupt place. Anyways, moving on. Let's do something a little bit lighter and also, in my honest opinion, absolutely disgusting. And that is that Mountain Dew has announced for its festive flavor this year, it's going to go with fruitcake.
What?
Fruitcake is what you send to family members that you hate. Why would you make a fruitcake flavored Mountain Dew? Why? Why?
I'm gonna Johnny for Christmas. I'm gonna go buy all that Walmart has in stock and deliver it to your front porch.
Oh my God. We will do a science experiment to see how fast it will peel paint, because Charlie's not drinking that.
That is fascinating. With a burst of fruit, it's fruit Quake, but it comes with a burst of fruitcake flavor.
Yeah.
That sounds like the very definition of cough syrup that it happens to have carbonation.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. This flavor might actually rival, in my personal opinion, the nastiness that is Baja Blast.
Which Taco Bell still has.
I know, but it's like only at Taco Bell.
It pisses me off because the places will carry that, but not Mountain Dew Code Red. I'm like, what the hell? Like, Mountain Dew and Code Red should be like the two standards.
Exactly.
Any other wackadoodle stuff, go for it.
In a perfect world, it would be Mountain Dew, Code Red, and Livewire. Boom, boom, boom. 3 in a row on your little soda machine.
Screw it. I want Jolt back.
I can't help you with, Zealeus.
Or you take some Jolt, you put some pixie sticks in it, and really get your blood going. Not that I've never done.
I'm pretty sure that'll make your nose bleed.
No, it actually, yeah. You want a sugar high where you crash? Yep, that did that to me.
Be like, I feel great. Oh, God, where's all this blood coming from?
You guys were with me when that happened at Waffle House.
Yeah.
I mean, that was college where I did that to stay up all night. It was like an organic chemistry exam, and I did that.
It was organic. It was an organic experience, wasn't
Oh,
it?
it was organic. I saw many lines and colors that night.
I smell colors.
Yeah,
But yes.
I think that's the last all-nighter I pulled.
Anyway, so yeah, there's Mountain Dew fruit cake, or sorry, fruit Quake flavor.
No.
No.
I want that like berry or raspberry, or whatever the hell that was that they had years ago.
Yeah.
That was good.
Well, they had some good. I mean, they've had some fun ones, and they've had some not so fun ones. But yeah, fruit Quake. No, thank you. I will pass.
Ooh, peppermint.
Ooh,
Mountain Dew.
I don't know. Just I'll stick with.
I mean, it could be a hit or miss. I don't know.
I'll stick with these two.
Your happy concoction.
Yep, my Code Red and my Mountain Dew.
Nice.
Okay. So, speaking of happy stuff, or stuff that makes Charlie happy, this is a friendly reminder that ChattaCon number 48 is happening in Chattanooga, January 13th through the 15th, 2023. Alter Confusion, or I should say myself, which I guess is Alter Confusion, has a hotel room, and because I haven't heard back about if we have a table or if I'm actual panelist, I just went ahead and bought myself an attendees pass, because I think when the new year happens, the price goes up, and so I'm saving myself $10. So right now, get your 3-day pass, or is it 13, 14, 50? Yeah, 3-day pass for $50.
Nice.
Yeah. And of course, I guess I don't know if they still do Vitamin Geek at all, but the Spooky Dudes podcast that we hang out with all the time when we do Chattanooga conventions, they will be there at ChattaCon 48.
Nice.
And they haven't heard anything about their panels either, so they went ahead and bought tickets.
That was their whole plan all along. If we make them wait. Make them wait long enough, they'll just have to buy their own passes anyways.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about some strange news here. There's a bit of news coming out that revolves around the exciting announcement of a new video game a new movie franchise based off of a video game. And this video game, I'm going to be totally honest with you, is a little bit out of left field. And that is Toe Jam and Earl is getting a movie adaptation. That is the weirdest thing in the world. Actually, no, that's not the weirdest thing, because I don't know, it may have been at least 7 or 8 years ago, there was all the talk of a movie based off of the video game Asteroids. And if you want to talk about, I don't know how you make a video game around the game Asteroids, but then again, they made an entire movie out of battleships, so I can't be surprised.
Deep Impact would be the Asteroid movie.
No, from my understanding, the pitch for Asteroids was this two brothers on a mining ship who have to, like Armageddon style, have to save the planet by taking out this asteroid that's barreling down.
You know what I actually want to see? I want to see a video game movie adaptation where there's like clear level ups and an increase in difficulty in mobs you're taking on. Like, you think of like the Doom movie should have literally gone from like, he started with this fist, then he got a pistol. And I know they have like different weapons, but like clearly, even have like little like tags in the upper right, like you're now level 10, and have like the character open his arm and be like, oh, what's my next level up going to be? Like,
or just have like an indicator in the left-hand corner, left-hand top corner that tells you like the keys that you collected. Or he goes to a door and it goes, cannot compute, must collect the red key. And he's got to battle a bunch of guys and then loot their corpses to find the red key so they can open the door.
Is that too much? I want to see a video game adaptation actually do that with like level ups or some like. actually be like a video game. It'd be cool.
There's been games that have kind of, jokingly done it. I mean, the Ryan Reynolds Free Guy definitely had some.
Never saw that.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, so you can't go wrong. It's an NPC who basically gains awareness and starts playing in this brutal, like, kind of like GTA world. Actually, there's a book.
Ready Player One.
No, not Ready Player One. It's basically, I want to call it Mog's World, where it's like a sci-fi fantasy, kind of like magic and dragons and wizards, where an NPC gains sentience in this game.
Huh.
And the author's name is really weird. It's like Yahtzee Crosshair or Yahtzee whatever. I'll have to look it up. It's gonna bug me now. Let me see if I hope it's Mog's World.
Ways to bug Charlie's, make him think he knows something, but don't actually tell him what it is.
It's Mog World by Yahtzee Croshaw. Croshaw? The blurb says, in a world full to bursting with would-be heroes, Jim couldn't be less interested in saving the day. His fireballs fizzle. He's awfully grumpy, plus he's been dead for about 6 years. When a renegade necromancer wrenches him from his eternal slumber and into a world gone terribly, bizarrely wrong. All Jim wants is to find a way to die properly, once and for all. On his side, he's got a few shambling corpses, an inept thief, and a powerful death wish. But he's up against tough odds, angry mobs of adventurers, a body falling apart at the seams, and a team of programmers racing a deadline to hammer out the last few bugs in their AI. So hold on. I'm gonna post this in the chat. It's actually a really good book. Actually, I love the stuff that Yahtzee writes. It's pretty good. It's got some humor to it, and it's very well written.
Nice.
Okay, so speaking of written, so I know in this wonderful digital age, we are always constantly being bombarded with, if you like this, you would like that type of advertisement, right? Your personalized things. If you read, huh?
If this, then that. It makes perfect sense.
Exactly. You bought, I don't know, a book on Amazon, and so they recommend a bunch of books that, well, if you like this author, you'll love these. And
is that basically how advertising works?
Yes, but at the same time, oh my God, I've been getting some terrible suggestions as of late when it comes to the Kindle. Because I think it's pretty obvious. I am a sci-fi fantasy fan. I do love a good murder mystery or a thriller book. Maybe something contemporary, maybe some steampunk in there once in a while. I've been doing a lot of what's it called? Urban fantasy, where it's basically like the Dresden Files, where it's in today's society, but you have wizards and it like a hidden world that actually goes, is happening or whatever. But some of these books, I'm like, I because I have Kindle Unlimited, I will, thankfully, most of these recommendations are under Kindle Unlimited. But man, there's a ton of those books that I couldn't even go 10 pages before I'm like, nope. Nope. It's like, if you like, well, case in point, it's like the Dresden Files. You got Harry Dresden. He's a magician. He's dealing with like vampires and zombies and lycanthropes, all this crazy stuff. And then they recommended this book. Like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And oh my God, it is the most like Christian, like it's angels at war, but like they're like citing the Bible. I'm like, no, dude, this is not like Dresden at all.
Huh.
No, nope.
I mean, there's the battle between good and evil.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. So yes, there's a fantasy type of situation with bad, and, good and evil.
What do you want? Boom.
It was terrible. I'm not going, because I don't want to be mean, because people might find that this author's books, but oh my god, that's it. When I think Dresden, that's not what I think about.
There weren't any sexy vampires in it?
No. And for okay. I think we're outside the spoiler thing, and I harp about this every single time. In the Harry Dresden TV series, there is a female vampire that goes by the name of Bianca. And she is like this forbidden love interest in the TV show. If you actually read the books, they fucking hate each other. Like, Bianca's tried to kill Harry several times, and fuck it. It's long enough. Spoiler alert. But Harry kills Bianca in the books. Like, he has to put her down.
Oh, why?
Yeah. Because she's trying to kill everyone he loves. And it's not like, because you won't love me back. It's, I hate you, Harry Dresden. I want to drain you of your blood and kill everyone who even knows your name.
I'm not seeing an issue here. I think she just needs to be. I think he just needs to open his mind a little bit to the way she truly loved him.
I don't think that's what she wants to open. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick pause here to do the friends of the show. These are the wonderful people that help Alter Confusion be the Alter Confusion that you love and adore. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. The first thing. The first group we got to give a shout out to is the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. That's all one word, indiecluster.com.
How many words?
Do what?
One? Just one word, you sure?
Yep, all just one word. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, the next thing we got to do is Noodle Boy Media. Founded in 2015 by Andrew Tran, Noodle Boy Media, previously Wet Kid 47 Media, is your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level of professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/noodleboymedia.
Yes.
Now, this next shout out is especially important to anybody who's in the greater Atlanta area. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got to remind you and tell you about Hero Chiropractic. Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore, the company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. If you want more information, go to herochiropractic.com. Now, the next shout out we got to give is to the amazing composer maestro himself. That, of course, is CrossPad Creative. Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content, just like Alter Confusion. CrossPad Creative offers a whole host of solutions for individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he can do for you. And yes, I have asked him if he has a website he'd like for us to do, but unfortunately, he is so inundated with work that he hasn't actually been able to work on his website because he's too busy helping out his clients, which is the right order. You should always help out your client first and work on your website second.
Work? What's this crazy talk?
And ladies and gentlemen, the last shout out we got to give to is to our longest patron supporter, and that is Agile Axiom. By day, Axe leads both a development team and system administration team working with satellites at NASA's Goddard campus. But while not in meetings and many times during, he is the Agile evangelist, Agile X, championing the philosophy of Agile and trying to make the world a better place for software developers, testers, system admins, and software projects the world over. Decades of experience in software development and leading Agile teams are brought to bear against evil processes, inefficient work, and bad habits. For more information, go to agileaxiom.com. Okay. Speaking of Agile, actually, Agile Axiom, I got to reach behind me real quick. He actually has a book. Where'd the book go? I know I just had it. Hold on a sec.
How many books could he possibly have? As he looks deep behind him.
All right, so Axe actually has a book out. It's called "Is This Agile? Common Processes for Development Teams." And as an individual who just went through the first two of 4 Agile training classes, I could tell you that one of the presenters was like, "Oh yeah, I know this book. It's a good book." So.
Are you going to get certified with your?
Eventually, but
yeah.
let me just say one thing real quick, and that is, I detest when you give a test. Okay, if you're given a multiple choice test, and you give all right answers, but there's one best answer, I will fucking strangle you. Oh my God. Because to me, there's different ways to interpret what is the best. And I really do not feel like arguing over every single one of my freaking answers.
Welcome to the real world. There's usually various ways to do development and to do various projects, but there's usually actually objectively a best one.
A best one for each individual, for different situations, though. There is not an almighty best of all time.
For a particular situation, it's usually a best answer.
True, but that's once again based on the situation. When you give me a vague outline, my situation in my mind might be different than yours. Yes, I'm strange. I'm crazy. I think way the fuck outside the box. So for you to tell me that, it drives me nuts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, you are like, oh my God, I have to know. How can I, too, become a patron of Alter Confusion? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy that you asked, and so I shall tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, Alter Confusion survives on the love and support of fans like you, and so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, lovers, haters, demigods, interdimensional beings, gods, demons, aliens, werewolves, vampires, mummies, sea creatures, supporters, and so many more to become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. Currently, we have 2 tiers that you can sign up for. There is the $1 a month tier, that's $1 a month, or $12 a year, and that will get you early access to all of our playthroughs, as well as the ability to take part in patron-only posts and polls. Now, if you're feeling extra frisky, you can jump up to that $5 tier. That's $5 a month or $60 a year. And not only do you get everything at the $1 tier, but you also get your name or organization added to every single thank you section of the Thursday Night Hangouts. So if you want to become a patron of Alter Confusion, go to Patreon, that's patreon.com/alterconfusion, and become a patron today.
We love Patreons, and they love you.
Yeah. Okay, so I technically have one more story, and so we're going to go into this. And this is kind of a follow-up to a story that we talked about last week, revolving around the Smash Brothers tournament that got axed 2 weeks before it actually was supposed to happen. And the promoters of that competition basically was talking about how there's another promotion company called Panda that has, it appears, gained the ability to have a Smash tournament in 2023. Well, apparently, the first promoters might have been onto something, because with a shit ton of pressure and a bunch of competitors dropping out of that Panda tournament, the Panda CEO has been removed from power.
The power?
The power of hoodoo. Yes, the CEO of Panda Global has been removed from his role following the Smash Brother tournament allegations that have led to numerous members leaving the esports organization. So, let's see here. Here is the official press release. Oh my gosh, could they have used a smaller font? Good Lord. Okay, let's see here. Panda has heard the concerns of the Smash community and is taking immediate action. Alan is no longer CEO, effective immediately. In the interim, Panda employees are working with outside advisors to form a temporary interim management committee to act as CEO to navigate this critical time. The identities of those in the interim management committee will not be made public at this time due to concerns over harassment and safety. Their immediate priorities are work with any team member that desires to resign, including release from any contractual obligations, support those who feel displaced through these events to find a home, either with Panda or another organization. We call on the community to treat those affected by these events with grace, understanding, and to call out and report any attempts of doxing or harassment. Additionally, due to security concerns for our staff and contractors, the Panda Cup finale is postponed.
Wow!
The committee will work to issue refunds to all of those who register in the coming weeks. Panda is committed to demonstrating our dedication to the community and everyone who shares our passion. Panda is committed to do our best to move the competitive Smash community above and beyond the current situation, starting with an internal restructure and rededication to our values as members of this community. So, bam!
What a fuck.
Bam!
I mean, it does sound like if the shit happened that really did happen, they say they're at least actually trying to do something to rectify the situation. Instead of just a typical, oh, that was bad, we will strive to do better.
Yep.
And that's it. And there's nothing else. So, I mean, I don't follow the Smash community, so I'm not really too up in what's going on, but it sounds like they're at least actually taking actionable steps to fixing the reputation and what happened, because a number of the Panda streamers also said that they were also leaving the esports company.
Yep.
So that's another thing. It's not, that's kind of the life and bread of these esports companies. It's one thing if you host events, but if you lose those big time Twitch streamers, that's like, bye-bye.
I do want to point out something really quick here. The Video Game Awards is actually happening right now. And there was an announcement that just dropped about 20 minutes ago, and I have to shout about it. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, backed by popular demand, or maybe because of popular demand, Super Giant Games has announced there will be a Hades sequel. There will be a Hades 2, and this time there will be a female lead. The Underworld's princess will be taking center stage.
Holy shit!
That is awesome. And, of course, I will be buying it on at least one, if not two, platforms. because that's how Charlie rolls.
I'm super excited.
I'm
Like,
really fucking excited.
that will be, you can already mark it in. That will be a day one purchase for me also.
Yup. Let's see here.
I mean, there's a company there who's built up the goodwill, continues to put out good, solid games. You know what I mean? I don't like roguelites.
Yep.
Like, I'm not a rogue player. I've tried a number of them. I'm just like, I'm done main rogues. Hades will be Hades 2, I should say, will be the exception, because that is a phenomenal game.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, there goes a lot of my time. Whenever it comes out, a lot of my time is gonna go bye-bye.
Okay, here's the real question, right?
Yes, sir.
So normally sequels come out and they're improving on something from the first one, maybe a deficiency or something that could have been better. So what do you think is something that could be improved upon in Hades OG versus a Hades 2?
More soundtrack.
Ooh.
I mean, you know the soundtrack's gonna be amazing because, yeah. But other than that, you know, I don't know. Having completed several runs where I beat everybody and got the ending, and this is not a spoiler, but in order to truly get the full oomph of Hades, understand that you're going to have to have complete runs several times because the story will advance. The end story does advance.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe some collision detection. If you want to get really specific, there's a couple times where I felt like I got a little bit cheated on what was and wasn't a hit. But other than that, I mean, Supergiant Games make solid games. My biggest gripe is that Pyre really just didn't do it for me because it was a weird ass sports game. Really weird ass sport. I mean, I still beat the shit out of it because I'm that awesome. But you know, I just feel like they polish their shit. I mean, they make sure that it is good to go. They're not trying to, you know, shovel you some absolute crap and then we'll get to it later.
Maybe we don't get like early access, but real.
Yeah. Like when they did the I mean, technically I guess it was early access on Steam. I mean, it was already severely polished. I mean, there was nothing really wrong about it. Except for the fact that the only thing wrong with it was the fact that I couldn't buy it on the Switch yet. I mean,
you know what I'd like to see is a true spellcaster.
Ooh, interesting.
With more, which would probably, I guess, entail more CC, crowd control, with like, you know, because most of those games have like some kind of sorcerer, like ice mage, something along those lines, but something along those lines.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting to spice it up a little.
Interesting.
I try to think of the weapons. Maybe some more. I mean, I know it's roguelike, so the purpose is when you're in the runs to level up stuff, but you could level up your character. Well, I guess you could actually level up the weapons.
Yes, you could.
You could. So they already had that. So that's already part of it. So maybe other gear, like you can get like a chest piece and a shoulder. Ooh, skin customizations.
So you had the blade, the bow, the shield, the spear, the twin fists, and the railgun. And to be honest with you, I hated the railgun.
I did not like the railgun.
In my honest opinion, it was either the twin fists or the bow for me, which is kind of ironic because it's like as close as you can fucking get, and I'm gonna try to hit you from afar. But I mean, it's just they make good games, so you know. I'll save some money. Well, I'll start saving now because they just announced it today, so it's not going to come out tomorrow. Though it would be amazing if it did, but it's
But
not.
it also won't be a $70 game,
That's true.
which is kind of nice.
Yeah. I'd also be interested to see what characters would come back.
So the graphics look like it's going to be the exact same style.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
I wonder if it's.
Yeah,
but
looks
like,
identical.
I wonder, like. I just wonder what characters are going to
Like
make it.
Looks like the same like level up system as far as like choosing between like the 3 different level ups when you get them.
Right.
I see that. I see Apollo, Nemesis.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hypno's probably there.
It'll be more of the same, which I'm totally cool with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Chaos be a part of it? That'd be interesting. Maybe, probably. I don't know if it would make sense for Persephone to be there, though. But I guess time will tell.
Who knows, sir? Who knows?
So, I mentioned ChattaCon earlier, and so if anyone has ever been to a convention where Alter Confusion's been at, you know that we usually have some sort of setup. Usually a TV with a PC set up to. In many years past, we had indie games that you could play, and then we kind of really became more of a let's just have our show, our Thursday night hangouts be on display, and maybe some of the interviews. I recently attempted to turn on the convention PC, which a lot of people mistook as a Steam box, which it's not. It's an Alienware Alpha, and found out that I couldn't turn it on. And the CMOS battery went bad.
Wasn't that? Remember we had those issues where like it wouldn't really turn on? It was the CMOS battery.
Yeah. It was when those things came out. There was already some weird ass fault to the CMOS battery, but if you did these steps, it usually would be good for like 2 years. Well, it's been more than 2 years since we first got the machine, and the CMOS battery is completely dead. So I bought a new one, and I installed it yesterday, and just for sanity's sake, and so I didn't have to like find a monitor to plug this thing into. I'm using my the capture card that I usually use for the Nintendo Switch, because it's just a HDMI input, and so I really scared the crap out of my kids because I have two keyboards on my computer desk and 2 mice, and so they couldn't figure out how to use the computer. They're like, "Dad, it's not doing anything." But we are up and ready, and I removed a bunch of miscellaneous games off there. The real reason why I did that is that both my sons want to play the exact same game that's in my Steam library, but only one person could play on my desktop, and so now I have it on both the systems so that they could play it if they really want to. And to be honest with you, it's a game called Counting Kingdom. It's all about math. And so, yes, I will put that on. It's not like Bloody Gore Savage Battle 5.
What if you had to count the pints of blood that falls from all of your enemy at the end? You have to know how much to drink because you're actually a vampire. And you have to do the math.
The actual gameplay is you running around with a measuring cup trying to catch the blood being spilled by the enemy. You're not actually attacking the enemy. You're kind of like the spit bucket boy who's running around, but instead of spit, you're basically collecting blood drops from your master or whatever is causing damage, and you're literally just like scoop it in going, "Oh man, we're almost at 2 cups now, boss."
You know what that sounds like? The perfect VR game. Which, guess what, I've already pre-ordered.
Oh,
I did pre-order the PS2 VR.
Oh yeah, cool. Oh, speaking of which, there's a rumor that Sony's about to announce when the release of the PlayStation 6.
Oh, good Lord.
Congratulations. It's already going to be dated.
2026.
Possibly, I don't know.
I can't imagine it be any time in the next couple of years, honestly. Like, I have a hard time. Like, they're not even they barely make any PS5 exclusive games as it is.
Don't they still have like a shortage on actual PS5s?
It's almost normal. Like, I think you can, like, if you watch, it's much easier now to get the PS5. They still go out of stock, but it's not like in 5 minutes. It's like if you check every day, you'll find one now.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like the Switch was a year ago, where like it wasn't always like at your local Target, but if you just kind of tried, you'd find one pretty easily. Kind of that situation. So yeah, it's still not in excess surplus because it came out in 2020.
Let's see.
The PS5.
Look it up 1 second.
It's 2019 or 2020.
Came on release date November 2020.
Yeah, so my guess is you're looking at least 2026 for the PS6 would be my guess.
I guess we'll find out.
Who knows?
Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to point out that if you what?
I could see a PS5 Pro. That I could see.
True.
Like, PS5 Slim, that type of stuff.
Christ. The Slim.
Oh
my God.
Okay, the PS5 is a chunky boy, though.
Oh yeah, it looks like a router on steroids.
Yes, no, it's like it's humongous on my shelf. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind.
There's safety concerns for the shelf. Okay, we're at weight capacity.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to point out that if you are interested in owning your very own Ultra Confusion hat or Ultra Confusion vinyl sticker, all you got to do is go over to ultraconfusion.tv/merch. I just put it in the chat there for you. And you
what about my Ultra Confusion underwear?
That I don't think is an option, though. I'm still thinking about getting putting an Ultra Confusion koozie up there.
Ooh, then every night I could drink.
Exactly. I
think you're onto something.
I sometimes have that ability to be on something. Anyways, I just finished the One Piece video game. I will be I'll be putting a review of that in the near future. I've moved on to Tales of Arise.
Nice.
And I'm finally Tales of Arise, or hell, any Tales game, there's a certain kind of flow of button pushing that you have to get used to. And now I've played enough Tales of Arise and I'm finally getting that rhythm. And so now my only problem is, for the life of me, I cannot get through a boss fight without having to use at least 3 to 4 of those life potions to bring back fallen characters. I can't. I for some reason I cannot survive a boss fight without having a down player.
What player? Who's kind of like your main player you're playing with?
Oh, the main guy. The goddamn, what's
the masked hero?
Yeah, the masked hero.
Yeah, I played as the mage.
I
forget the chick with the spellbook.
Okay, the chick with the spellbook. Okay, because technically, the girl with the rifle and the spellbook, they both could do. They're both mages, but
yeah, the spellbook is much more powerful because you can level up your spells as you cast them.
This is true.
And queue them, which is pretty OP'd. And basically, just strafe. Oh, open attack.
Yeah,
because I sucked as the melee character.
I'm being brutally honest. I think I really need to invest in a new gamepad because I don't think that all of my button presses are actually being registered. Because there's a couple of times, and this happened during the One Piece game as well, is that there's a timing you got to do to some of like the strafe or the dodges
Yep.
or just the attack patterns, and I swear that my gamepad just sometimes like just goes, whoops, did you hit the button? I don't know, we're just gonna ignore it, and that's where I get into trouble.
Yeah, that's not very nice of it.
But have you played Tales of Arise?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in the second city, and in the sewers there's these little like slug things that just cast spells.
Yep.
I'm getting my ass owned by them because my melee character will just randomly lock on to one of the slug dudes. And I'm like, no, the other one that's casting, you dumbass. Oh, and there you go. Water fountain, water fountain, water fountain, water fountain. I'm dead.
Yeah, if you use the spellcast chick, she has the interrupt for that. Well, no, you don't use her. It's just the thingamadoodle to interrupt.
Yes, but unfortunately, you have to power it up. You can't just interrupt it.
True. Yeah.
And that's the pain. I'm just like, oh my god! I actually lock onto that spell, the one who's actually casting the spell, and I'm like, but the interrupt's not there. Oh no!
Yeah.
So it's a lot of dodging. I would try to
stagger them when I played. It's like each one of my characters would have like their skill open, basically.
Yeah.
To stagger them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it worked, and sometimes you still die.
Well, the craziest thing for me is this might just be the PC version, but your regular attack is the right shoulder button, and I can't tell you how many times I keep forgetting that, and I'll be button mashing like the X button or the Y button, and then you'll just hear like dun 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 because you've just used up all your special points, your ability your ability points, and you have to like recoup them, and I'm just going no.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
But yeah, so quick question for you, Zealeus. I know we're kind of we're getting towards the end, but the question that I have for you is, how many games do you feel confident in multitasking between?
Are you counting stupid iPhone games?
No. Because if I did that, geez, my number would be astronomical.
I would probably honestly say 2 at the most.
Yeah, I think for me too. I think it's 2 and maybe a third one. If the third one is more of like kind of I could jump in and out. I don't have to have like long sessions in.
Because probably the third one, it's probably going to honestly go like into hibernation for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And then I'll pick it up like later. I've done that, but like actively playing, and by active I mean probably I'd say at least once every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's what I consider active in this context.
I think right now my third one is either Legend of Runeterra or Slay the Spire, basically a collectible card game.
That makes sense. And those are perfect games to just kind of hop in and out of at leisure, basically.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Diablo 3 has a potential release date, or Diablo 4.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Dead Space remake over Diablo 4.
Early reviews say it's good.
Oh, that's not really a review. Or actually, there have been reviews, but it's only of the trailer. You may have noticed that there is a new... In the last week or two, there's been the second trailer for the Mario movie, and
I honestly deleted it when I saw it.
And I saw it because I promised someone who I would watch it, and I'm so excited for everything but Mario. Like Bowser looks and sounds amazing. Toad, like the script sounds amazing. Princess, Donkey Kong, but. Nope, not Mario. Even Luigi. I'm like, yeah, Luigi. It's a me, Luigi.
You know what I haven't heard about in a while?
What's that?
The Borderlands movie.
Yes. I too was wondering about that.
Like, is that still a thing? Like, is it still being made?
From my understanding, they had a lot of it done. Let's see. Borderlands.
And then they realized it's going to be terrible.
Is there a Borderlands movie coming out?
Or did they cancel it when they realized, oh, wait, this is a bad idea?
I love Collider says, even though the movie is set to hit theaters this year, there is still no release date for Borderlands. With little time left in 2022 and still no trailer, it may be that the film won't release until 2023.
Well, at this point, I would assume that's an accurate statement.
Yeah, I would say so too. There's still, let's see here. They do have an official website still up. Yep. Film yet still not rated. And it's basically just a holding picture.
Yay, I'm excited about holding pictures.
Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and you could also sign up for updates. If you put your email address in. Sucker!
Yeah, I want to be updated every time they make a take or they do anything.
I don't think that's how it works.
Like, no.
Kevin Hart has breathed into a microphone. Send email. Yes.
See?
Yes. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we've reached the end of our show. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving you everything come our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.